Hi guys, so I just wanted to do a little sit down video talking about the track meet that I went to this weekend. I know I said I would, and I was going to do it the other day, and the other day I was kind of tired, I wasn't really up to it. I started to do it, but I didn't get to finish because I was getting interrupted and I was getting sidetracked, so I just got rid of that video, and then I didn't get around to doing it yesterday because I just didn't. I didn't really have anything going on, I just didn't. So I'm going to do it now, but I know, let's see, today's currently the 30th, today's Tuesday, and I know today's a video day because it's Tuesday, but I don't know exactly when this video is going to go up. I know, like I said, today's a video day, but I do have a lot of homework to do, and I have a presentation I have to prepare for that I'm doing tomorrow, and I don't have any information yet. I mean, it's not a research paper, it's just a presentation, but I do have a research paper. That's the same, they're like tied together, but that's not due for a while. But yeah, so I don't know if this video is going to go up tonight. If it doesn't, I'm warning you that, you know, it'll go up tomorrow or Thursday for sure. But this week I have a lot of homework to do. I'm kind of busy, and I usually start my homework on Sundays, and I was kind of tired. I tried to, but I only did a little bit, so yeah. But anyway, I'm going to tell you guys about the track meet, how everything went, and yeah. Now, there's this one incident that happened where there were these people who were, the people who ran it, there was this lady, these ladies, and they were being nasty with us. So yeah, but okay, so we get to the track meet. So we got there on Saturday, and we left our house at 6:30 in the morning, and we were there until like 9:30 at night. So you guys can imagine it was a long day. So I was up 5:30 in the morning until like 10:30 at night because I had to get ready for bed and all that. So basically, we get there, you know, we had breakfast, we had to pick somebody up on the way, so we did that. So the first event was the discus. So the ladies did the discus, I think the guys did the shot put. So we had to line up, and there was a line. We had to stand in line, and now that's one other thing. We shouldn't have had to stand in line. We should just be able to sit until it was our turn, and then they could just, like, call us up instead of us just standing in line for 2 hours. Because with each throwing event, the shot put, the discus, and the javelin, there were 2 practice rounds, like, just you know, to kind of warm up. And then there were 6 rounds that counted. So 6 rounds that were actually scored. So that was, you know, so we did 6 rounds of each. The shot put, we did the discus first, and then I think we did the shot put after lunch. So we did the shot put after lunch, and then the javelin. So as far as our meals were concerned, we did not have to pay for anything. They supplied everything. And our hotel room I had to pay for, which I'll get to in a little bit. But as far as the meals, they supplied everything. So we did all our throwing events, and it was a really long day. So we checked into the hotel, and we were only there for about an hour before going back out, because there was this one girl on our team that was, she was doing a race. They had, like, some night races, some races at night. So we went back out to watch her, and we were out for another, like, 3 hours. So then we had dinner there, and the food was actually pretty good. So they got it, like, donated from different places. Like, for example, lunch was from Chick-fil-A the first day. I don't know where the other places the food was from, but then the next day we had breakfast at the hotel. You know, just easier because we were there anyway. They got, like, donuts and coffee and stuff from Dunkin' Donuts. They had hot chocolate. So that was from Dunkin' Donuts. We had, I don't know where the rest of the food was from, though. So, yeah. So, anyway, that was a long day the first day. The throwing, I did get a medal. I'm not wearing it right now, so I can't show you guys. Actually, I can because it's hanging up here. So, the reason I got a medal, I'm going to have to turn this around for a second, but the reason I got a medal was because the coach was saying that I was like, because I was never really involved in any kind of sports, and he was very proud of the transformation. Like last year, this time I played no sports, and then I went bowling with them. You know, we went bowling. We got to kind of like got to know the team, and then I wanted the baseball. As you guys know, I do the baseball. I wanted to, you know, I kind of was like, oh, you know, I'll try it. I got into that and liking the game, and then I went from that to joining track and doing the track meet. I mean, some people on the team have different things that they like. I mean, for example, there's this one girl who doesn't do the baseball. She just does track. There's another girl that does just goalball. We don't do that, but there is a goalball team. There are a few other people on the team that just are into the baseball. So like different people on the team are into different things, which is okay. So yeah. So like I said, yesterday was a long day. Saturday was a long day. So then the next day was all the running events. So you had all the races, the 200 meter, the 100, the 400, the 800, the 1500, the 5000, the 60 meter, the 800, all those races and stuff. So you had different heats because, okay, so this was a tri-state meet. So there were people who were paraplegic, people in wheelchairs. There was somebody who had no legs. There was somebody who had a prosthetic arm and no arm or something, or a prosthetic leg. There was like people that had like in wheelchairs. There were people that had all sorts of things, paraplegics, things like that. So there were 6 heats for each race, which was like different sections. So like we went first, like our group ran first, and then it was all the people like the wheelchair people, the paraplegics, all that. So luckily we were first for like everything, which was great. I mean, so what we did was I only did the 100 meter because the thing is I'm not really into the running, isn't my thing. Like I'm more into the throwing, and I did track and field in middle school, and I'm not really going to get into that on this video because that would make this video kind of long. But all I'm going to say is like it didn't work out. So, and when I did track in middle school, I only did throwing. And at first I thought it was they put you in what you're best at, but it was really because of like liability. Like they just were afraid of me doing something, of me getting hurt, things like that. So they were just afraid of liability and all that. So anyway, I kind of was this like, so yeah, and I didn't even learn in school to throw the shot put the right way. Like, that I'll get into because I want to actually do another video on that, but I don't want this video to be too long. That's why I'm not. So, because it already is getting long. So anyway, so we had all the heats go for the races, and like I said, running wasn't really my thing. So that was why I did the 100 meter. And because when you do a race, you have to build up to it. You have to start slow, especially if it's not something you do regularly. So we went first. So then what we did was we didn't stay for the whole thing. After lunch, after our group ran the 200 meter, we left. So because it was a long day, we had somebody watching our dogs, and we didn't want to leave them any longer than we needed to. And then because it took like an hour to get through each race because of all the heats that had to go, like all the sections. So that was a lot. So also we had so then we did that, and then after that we pretty much left. So I wanted to talk to you guys about how there was these ladies that were treating the athletes. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this kind of brief. So they were just really nasty towards us, and I think part of it was because, like, okay, I understand, like, their expectations are high, and the thing is, we didn't really know, like, we went there, we didn't really know, like, we should have known, like, what their expectations were. Like, at practice, for example, okay, So there's this thing, like for any of you guys that do track and field, there's this thing called a block. And it's basically this thing, you put your feet against it and you put your hands on the ground and you kind of like, you push off of it and then you start running. So I felt like I didn't really need that and I didn't know how to use it. So the one lady goes up to me and asks me if I want to use it. And I said no. She asked me, she said, do you want to use it? And I said no. And she said, well, let me see if that's okay. And then her dad was also, he was a big part of this. So she said, oh, do they have to use the block? And he gets on the megaphone so everybody could hear. He said, yes, she must use the block. Yes, it's mandatory that she uses the block. Like they said it 6 times. And then, for example, okay, so yes, I have to use the block. And then we were doing the discus and the shot put. Now there's a circle that you have to be on. And if you go beyond the barrier, or you go over it, you go beyond it, you get disqualified. Or after you're done throwing and you step out of the circle, you get disqualified. So when I was touching the barrier, I was like, they would tell, the lady kind of would tell us, oh, you're not supposed to touch the barrier. We're not supposed to touch it. But like the sighted kids that were doing it, because there were kids there, the sighted kids there, they didn't, like they could see where it was, so they didn't need to touch it. Let's see, so there was another, time when I was throwing the discus. I think it was the discus or the shot put, either. It doesn't really matter, but we were kind of like, okay, so I was asking my mom, I was like, so was it in or out? Was it, and she said, yes, it was in, yes, it was out. That's it. That's all she said. She didn't tell me how far it went because, she didn't know. So the one lady was like, you'd think after 6 trials, you would know by now that we're not supposed to tell you that until you're out of the circle. But I was just asking, like, is it in or out? That's all I was asking. So I wasn't doing anything wrong, but she was just being really nasty to us. So, yeah. And anyway, like, I know that, like, at practice, we didn't really have a track practice every week. And the point of practice, obviously, is to prepare for meets and stuff. So I was kind of like, even with the javelin, for those of you guys that know, the javelin has a point on it, and the point has to go in the ground first. So we did not practice with a javelin because we didn't have one. So we practiced with a cane, since a lot of us use canes. And that wasn't the same thing. So I think that's like part of it is like we have to just be aware of that they have other expectations that we weren't aware of. So I told you guys I would talk about paying for the hotel. And as far as paying for the hotel went, so basically what we did was there was this organization that we did where we went online and we applied for a grant. And the grant, what we do is you would get money to put towards your sports expenses, such as hotel stays, like a hotel room stays, like when you go away overnight, or any equipment you need, like if you need new shoes or something, to pay for transportation to get to the events, things like that. So anything sports related, it had to go towards. So I applied for a grant, and you have to do like a proof of income. You have to get a letter from your doctor to prove that you have a disability, things like that. So that was the money that I used to pay for my hotel room. So yeah. So let's see. I think that's about it. So another thing too, we had to wear blindfolds. Now the blindfolds were basically just like so we'd be equal, which I guess that's okay. So yeah. But I guess that's about it, and I'm going to do another video explaining my track experience and all that in middle school, because that's I think that deserves a whole nother video, because that would be kind of long for this video. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to go now, and I will see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye guys.